Okay. Hey, welcome to my Dragon Hunter Crossbow range training in Old School RuneScape. So Huiquotl, you could obviously open up your collection log, go down to bosses, Huiquotl, see his location on the map right here. So I'm going to be using a Dragon Hunter Crossbow, which you can stand in the wilderness, right near the Revenant Cave. Try another world or create a private encounter. Okay. So it looks like the max players you could have is 20. Huiquotl is located right there. So I'm going to be using a Dragon Hunter Crossbow and a super cheap black d'hide body to increase my range training. You essentially get this by doing Dragon Slayer quest. I'm going to be using Opal Bolts E and Dragon Hunter Crossbow and a Zamorak Quaff. So essentially, alright, so let me introduce this. My mom is edging my dog. I just finished my bath. Okay. Alright, so hey, welcome to my Huiquotl video. So under your collection log over here, you click here and you scroll down to Huiquotl. So you could see where the boss is located on the map, right over here. He's in Varlamore. You have to do Children of the Sun quest to get here. So I'm going to be training with Dragon Hunter Crossbow and Opal Bolts E. So here's my current level, and obviously with the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, it works very well with Amulet of Glory, the Black d'hide chaps if you do Dragon Slayer quests. You're able to hop into the encounter. So if you use a Dexterous Prayer Scroll, then if you have your prayer, you could essentially enable Rigor, and you have to damage Huiquotl's body and other stuff. Let me just charge up all my stuff, drink my Divine Ranging Potion, and essentially what I'm going to do up here is I got the Arceus spellbook, so I'm going to summon a ranged helper. So Huiquotl the green, use Protect Ranged, the red, use Protect Melee, and the blue, use Protect Mage. So my helper here, right now I have Protect Range for the green. My helper here, he adds in a little extra damage, which benefits me in getting loot from Huiquotl. So after you defeat the Huiquotl, you essentially just wait and it'll bring you to the next round, or you could exit the slope and return to the bank and then hop back in. So we defeated him, and the more damage you do, the more likely you are to get loot. So let me just charge up my prayer. I have a rune pouch holding the required runes and the Book of the Dead from Kingdom Divided quest, so I could summon my own thrall to assist with the damage. I also recommend the Osmumten Fang if you want to damage the body a little bit more accurately. But besides that, that's basically all you need. So you can see how long you have until your thrall disappears when you summon it. So the less people fighting the Huiquotl, the more likely you are to get loot. I've defeated him like, I don't know, 40 times or whatever. And when you defeat him in a group, the loot will be right at the base as group loot, and then there's also separate loot that you could get overall. So let me summon up my thrall so I can do extra damage. And on average I get about, I don't know, 800 to 1200 EXP fighting the Huiquotl, depending on how good the team is. Right now, it's early in the morning, and it looks like my thrall has 40 seconds left. So, alright, let's get back to fighting him. See, some of my shots I get 200 EXP, 170, etc. So the Dragon Hunter Crossbow does 20% extra damage versus Draconic creatures, and basically all you really need is prayer potions. I seem to, yeah, I'm getting my loot. I just don't have it marked, because right now I'm logged into, let's leave here real quick and open up the correct Jagex launcher. Okay, so you could just leave the encounter and like miss out on one or whatever. So, because I can't see what the loot is, which makes it pretty hard. So you could leave at any time, and being that the Huiquotl is so easy and like located right here, you could essentially just load up pretty quickly on mobile Obviously the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. So I was using Runelight there. I'm going to use the official client, which I have, so it marks my loot. So let's open this up. And obviously doing World 302 in Huikodal is the best. This game's on iPhone and on Jagex launcher on PC. Alright, so let me load up my game. But yeah, the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, you can teleport to the Revenant Cave, and the dragon literally just spawns there, and he just keeps spawning, and you could just shoot Runite bolts, which are like 90% off now. Alright, let's see what world I'm in. Oh. Yeah, so world 323, there's like nobody here. So I'm going to be doing this for about an hour, because the Dragon Hunter wand is worth like a ton. So, alright. Let's have some of that. Oh, put away my rune pouch? No, it didn't. Yeah, my rune pouch is there, just not marked. Alright, so let's get ready to join in. Activate Augury. I feel like this one is the best one to target. Some of your shots don't hit because you could equip like Masori armor or a Robin Hood hat and an archer's ring to increase your damage. You could also do, there's like a series of things called like Ava's Assembler and stuff, which lets you, it's like a 4+4 thing that supposedly collects like steel knives back for you automatically. But there's really no point in ever doing that. I feel like Kingdom Divided is probably the best just to get your own thrall to assist with the damage, because it lasts pretty long. And if you have the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, then you can increase your damage just enough to do enough damage to damage him, and also collect some of the loot. Because by the time they run over there and hit him with the sword, you've already, like this Dragon Hunter Crossbow does 20% damage extra. So this is definitely a good way to make gold. It's just running out of prayer. You want to train with the Perilous Moons to get Blessed Bone Shards and level up your prayer pretty quickly. So let's get over here. Because you got to damage the body as well if you want to make some gold. There's like a little lag where you can run when his tail's there. So, alright. And you just keep summoning your thrall. You fight him like a ton. So let's see how much I have left until the next level. So currently I have 144k. So I'll check again in like 1 defeat and then 2 defeats. The main problem is just healing up. Did you guys see the Tesla report yesterday? That was 450% at least. Probably 500 if you're not dumb. What an obvious win. Alright, so I left Augury on. Let's go attack this one. If you have Osmumpton Fang, then you could get like extra damage in right here. Because the body damage is the most important part in regards to the loot. The people currently logged on are much different than the people who are logged on later in the day. Alright, let's get this ready. The thrall definitely helps with the damage allocation though. especially here. Because like you do so little damage versus the tail that having the thrall is the difference between getting loot and not getting loot. There we go. I got a rune mace. So it basically like the Dragon Hunter crossbow is so good with like the extra damage. It's like basically 114 to range damage. Obviously having the Masori armor would be a little bit beneficial, especially the Masori body. So they're currently keeping that like relatively cheap. With added benefit of extra time to save up to get like both like your entire range set. Like you want obviously rigor, the dexterous prayer scroll, so it's like a combination of like armor and like prayer and like ranged ammo, wilderness training, like everything. So alright, let's set that up. Recharge my prayer and heal up a bit. I didn't recharge my prayer quick enough for that one. I'm just sitting here eating damage. Okay. But yeah, you could essentially fight the Huicoatl a ton. So right now I'm at 143. So I've managed to do like 1,000. Plus you can obviously just go into the wilderness and fight normal dragons and make a little bit more EXP. But with the Huicoatl, you have the chance of getting a 4 million gold Huicoatl Dehide body or the Dragon Hunter wand for 25 million. So obviously the more damage, the more likely you are to do well here. For some reason, I haven't hit the body once, which normally I hit the body like 60% of the time. So, alright, let's summon my thrall. Having the rune pouch is pretty good though, because you're able to allocate 3 runes to the pouch. So, it looks like my divine ranged ran out. Yeah, I managed to sleep a ton. Like 3 until 5, and then I got like interrupted, and then I fell back asleep from 8 to 1:30. Because it was a simple mistake. I could have easily slept way more. I just didn't have my fan on the other side of the room to help with air circulation, so... I had a service done on my bath yesterday, which is pretty good. We switched the pipes out from metal until whatever the new type of pipes are. You could summon your thrall down here too, but he doesn't follow you up there. There we go. I can never beat these dudes up the hill. They got all the Huey pros out currently. They're much worse later on in the day, I guess. My prayer drained so quickly. Somehow I didn't get... Oh, nice. I got a Tourstool seed. You could basically break even with all the loot. Yeah, that was such an obvious Tesla though, with the energy generation. So between JD and Tesla right there, it was like what, like 2,000%. You have to be like daft in order to not understand that. That was like such an obvious win. Having a slightly better agility even helps. Not really, because you run up the hill a little bit faster. Even the ballista, if you happen to, the heavy ballista, if you happen to do Monkey Madness too, that's a super good ranged weapon as well. I still can't pay attention to the pillars, like whatsoever. I don't like how my guy just like stops attacking as well, like just because I turned around. So I like to click on the Huey Codal a little bit. You guys saw how my blessed bone shards, while sacrificing them, if you left click and then click on the libation bowl, you sacrifice them a little bit quicker. I thought that was pretty useful. I'm just going to leave here and grab more stuff. I seem to be getting super unlucky. There's a lot of people waiting to join too. Of course. Alright, so let's put away my loot. Super slowly. Get more prayer. I'm not even using the Divine Super Combat Potion, so whatever. I'll take out 2 more prayer potions. I'm not even using my stamina potion as well. Alright. I guess let's join. And my Divine Ranging Potion. I don't even know why I'm running up the hill. It's like too late to do any damage. I don't know where... Oh, my Divine Ranging Potion's at the bottom left. Like how much time I have left. I'm used to it being at the top left. Yeah, there's immense pressure in my room. All that air conditioner I managed to like force in is just sitting here. Like a hot roof above me. And I just took a bath. Yeah. And all those like missed workouts. It's upsetting. Because I donated my workouts to science. So obviously I live in other worlds. So I'm not in control of my own life. Which is pretty fun. I like how they set that up for me. But you get a ton of mage training as well. Just summoning your thrall repeatedly. Plus with like, I don't know, a Void Waker, you can probably just hit the Huey Codal with a Void to start for extra damage. I obviously have my Bow of Ferdinand, which is pretty cool. Because the extra damage is like significant. And being able to win, what's it called? Yeah, they're really just eking out all my loot. That never happens. But being able to win TOA is like a guaranteed quadruple loot for the game. So that's pretty huge. It's like why I own the Osmumton when you could own how to get the Osmumton. Yeah, I haven't hit this body like once properly. Yesterday I was hitting it for like 100 EXP, like half of the time. Nice. I'm the first out up here. But yeah, I hate this time of day, and especially at this time of year. And I hate this gym setup. There we go. I finally got some hits in. I'm not getting any loot, dude. Pretty unfortunate. But yeah, I really liked paying like 80 million gold for my web weaver. I thought that was kind of BS, to be honest. Yeah, I lost like 80 million gold for my web weaver, which I barely got to use. And yeah, paying like 30 million gold for my Justicar. Literally BS. All these extra bossing opportunities are super huge, but yeah, I don't know why we have to turn my guy around right there. Pretty annoying. That was bumped in super cheap, and you get some access to like other things. That was the group loot right there. Yeah. Obviously they give extra help with like perilous moons and stuff to some degree. It's pretty huge, and the bow of Ferdinand was kept super low and available as well at the same time. But even still, you got to get mad at all the gifting and cheating. It's like, oh, go from 12 million gold web weaver to 30 million. It's like a free dragon hunter crossbow. It moves like inverted to everything I do. Alright, summon a zombie here. Jeez. They knock out... The only reason I'm not getting loot is because I'm not hitting the body, basically. See, notice how it just always runs you in the wrong direction if you click a little early. You could like sit there and count. Oh nice, I got some adamantine ore. So running to get the group loot is like a waste, because by then you're already not doing damage to the boss. I could, yeah, by the time I do a bando swing, it's like too late. TBH. But you get a ton of training in on normal dragons. When it's not this competitive, you make way more. Apparently everyone has a Dragon Hunter Lance, which you need level 55 fishing to do, which is brutal. Yeah, I told like 3 people about Tesla, which is good. They probably don't listen because everyone is horrible at life. Yeah, the Dragon Hunter crossbow is like significant here. If I had the Masori armor, I'd be hitting every single time. But the Dexter's Prayer Scroll basically makes it relatively good. the bow of Ferdinand is holding the difference. Which I had initially, but apparently people don't use it here, supposedly, even though this is like the most obvious area to use it. So I sold it, I held it into this, and then I spent like 20 million for it. So so that's always cool. Thankfully, everyone apparently has Ice Barrage on this planet, so it all evens out. Especially since like range training is like literally a joke. You just run out into the wilderness and you step in one spot repeatedly. So there's like really good training in this game. There we go. I got 2 hits on the body this time, finally. So now I could get some loot. It probably has to deal with like time you've been doing it as well. I don't know why the words don't appear when you're supposed to run. That would make a little bit more sense. I don't know how I didn't pick up those Avento seeds. Yeah, my Dragon Hunter crossbow. Right here I should get some loot. Because I got hit on the body and, yeah, see? 1,200. Yeah, let's... I got one more left in me. Yeah, so I managed to do 5,000 range training. I didn't get much loot, but if you use the looting bag in the wilderness with the normal dragons and Runite bolts, and you just teleport with the Revenant Dragon cave teleport, Revenant cave teleport, you could essentially just sit there and just keep looting the dragons repeatedly, which is pretty huge. Plus, like, with Tesla sponsoring, like, every disabled person on this planet, like, literally, nothing really counts anymore, so. Oh, nice. Got some Lantidime seeds. Miss out on loot the next time. That's because I hit the body the last time. The thrall really makes the difference. I think he kind of like targets you a little bit more when you hit him a little bit more as well, like more specifically. So real quick, I'll show off my strat in the wilderness. Obviously the armor set significantly, at least like the ranged armor sets, they so that's basically all the loot I just got. So yeah, unlike the sword armor sets that don't really provide an attack bonus unless like you went full on Huey with like the not affordable Inquisitor's Mace, then yeah. Because it provides like extra crush damage. Alright, so that's like a ton of gold. It's like another Perilous Moons right there. And it's a dragon, so it's like extra training. Like while you're training. You need the Book of the Dead, obviously, which you get from the Dark Altar by speaking with Tis. You right click and say Spellbook, and it switches up your spellbook to be the Arceus spellbook. Alright, so now I'm obviously going to go into the wilderness and get absolutely manhandled for no reason. Fighting normal dragons with runite bolts, which are significantly cheap right now. Alright, so the extended anti-fire works basically just as good as the super extended anti-fire, or the extended super anti-fire. So I'll go with that. And then, I mean, I like to use blighted anglerfish, but you could use blighted cromboan or bass as well if you're poor. Being that you have the looting bag, you could just bring more food with you and stay out there longer, but obviously you could leave the wilderness by teleporting back. Yeah, the Amulet of Glory definitely helps with all that type of stuff. So let's go into the wilderness and show off this. Okay, so I'm gonna have my looting bag, divine ranging potion, and extended anti-fire. So essentially what I like to do is I'll stand right here and to the east of these rocks after teleporting with the Revenant Cave, and I drink my divine ranging potion. And you could consider obviously adding in blighted super restores and using rigor, but nobody could really do that because it increases your range attack by a ton. So using runite bolts, the dragon hunter crossbow, and you essentially just stand right here and you left click your looting bag, which you get from the Revenant Cave over here, and you could just stand there and just keep clicking. So the dragon just literally spawns. Yeah, you have to like move a little. Okay, clearly they're messing with me here because that didn't happen on mobile for quite some time. Alright, so thankfully spawning in Karen, you get your stuff back significantly faster. So Jihad body, all this type of stuff. And yeah, they just had to knock the looting bag out of me. But yeah, you get the picture, right? Obviously Final Fantasy has to make sales somehow. Alright, so I guess do it without the looting bag. That's pretty offensive, right? They just had the dragon kill me. The extended super anti-fire is slightly better than the extended anti-fire, but the extended anti-fire does do the job. So I just lost all of my food again, so let me just herpaderpa rebuy my food, because I have a disability, so, and we all know this. We all celebrate this. This is the only thing that there is on this planet. On this actual real planet. Alright, so let's go over here. I have my extended super anti-fire, so I could recollect my stuff. Alright, so you teleport into the wilderness with the Revenant Cave, and if you have the looting bag from the Revenant Cave, you have to defeat like 5 revenants and you get it back if you lose. You just left click to open it and you can pick up as many items as you want. Oh, you get your looting bag right back in the wilderness as well. I had no idea. So you open it up and you just sit here and left click. So with the runite bolts, if you stand right here near the Revenant Cave with the Revenant Cave teleport, and you have super cheap runite bolts, dragon hunter crossbow, the light bearer doesn't really matter. You can use an archer's ring if you're rich after a while. Amulet of Glory, black D'hide body from like a black D'hide set and like a Zamorak Quaff, you should be good. And you just sit here and you don't even have to move. Okay? So this is basically the range training method I recommend. You could use a web weaver, but it kind of costs a little bit for Revenant Ether to charge it up because it does 50% more damage in the wilderness. This way, it's like you get your arrows back, and obviously with the looting bag, it's like you don't even have to move. I think it's like you stand like right here, and he just keeps attacking you, and you could loot and spot. So watch this. All right, let's talk to the genie. Nice. I got my lamp. You have to use your lamp before you lose. Let's heal up a bit. So my extended and super anti-fire could basically protect me. And if you stand directly here, the dragon just literally spawns in the exact same spot every single time. So if you want to like sit there and give web weavers to anybody, like this is all you have to do. So while you're working out, you just run out directly here. And yeah, the loot goes in the same spot every single time. So hop back here. You just step diagonally. See? And the loot appears right here. So I managed to do 136. So I managed to do 8k range training. Obviously this works super well. So step diagonally, grab your stuff with the looting bag, step diagonally back, and the dragon just keeps spawning right here. And I mean, the extended anti-fire, it lasts way longer than the extended super anti-fire by like 4 minutes. So overall, I mean, you could just have like a blighted anglerfish every now and then. Maybe the extended super anti-fire slightly better. Whatever. They're basically, I think, the same price, if I'm not mistaken. So let's use this on agility. So range training, essentially I showed how to train it in Ardoon Zoo up until 70, and then you could use the Dragon Hunter Crossbow or the Web Weaver. Obviously I used the Dark Bow at a certain level, but here's where you really just start collecting all your gold. And then once you get to, I don't know, 84, you could Web Weaver people in the Revenant Cave. But if you get PvP'd, you lose like 175k gold. And because the ammo, the 1000 Revenant Ether, is just the buy-in, the debt, the loan for just using the Web Weaver. And any arrow, any Revenant Ether after that is just an arrow after the 1000. So 1001 Revenant Ether is 1 arrow. So yeah, you could sit here, loot up, and then go into the Revenant Cave once you make like 100k. And you could check the contents of your looting bag, and there's actually a way to deposit from your looting bag to the bank. But you get all your bolts back. So this is over time, like, I mean, obviously it's relatively the same speed for fighting the dragons, I'd say, as the Web Weaver. Just because of all the extra damage. You could use better bolts because, like, you're just sitting here and you're collecting all your bolts back, right? And they all basically go in the same spot. Just as long as you hit and overcoming, like, the hit, like, you're going to miss regardless. So the runite bolts are nice. Alright, let's use this on agility. Jeez. So essentially, you can level up your ranged. buy Masori and then make a ton of gold on Huey Codal. I don't know if I'm off by here. Oh, that was good. I'll drink some of my Divine Ranging Potion. Because right now the Divine Ranging Potion is like 90% off. So it's like, if you're training range any differently, I mean, you're basically wasting your time. And you could just keep doing this. You make like the Revenant Cave, you get PvP'd anyway. And all this stuff is like right here. Plus you could essentially just sit there and play COD for like a decade, technically, when you really think about it. Oh, my looting bag fills up? Or did I like open it? I don't know. You'd be amazed at like what you can technically do. Technically, you could do whatever you want to do. But I'd say RuneScape is very cool, right? I guess my bag was just closed there. No, it's full. I had no idea it gets full. Because I did my range training like very quickly. I didn't do it here. I did it in Ardoon Zoo, just while applying to jobs. I wasn't really focused on the loot. I was more so just leveling just to fight the Grotesque Guardians. So that's pretty cool, right? I'm sure you guys are like running all the way over there, hitting every dragon on the way. The dragon spawns super quickly though, so I'm sure you guys know about the looting bag. I don't know if you could just stand here and then shoot the dragon diagonally or not. No idea. But look how quickly I defeat it. And I could technically keep the Dragon Hunter Crossbow for free range training. And then, like, I could also keep the Bow of Ferdinand. Because, I mean, you could get the Masori armor set. I'm still, like, slightly off, but getting the Dexter's Prayer Scroll isn't even really needed. Once you make your way up to the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. So you could run back and you could use the Obelisk and a Ring of Wealth at 30 Wilderness to teleport back. I like to click the Obelisk, stand still, turn off, auto retaliate if you're getting attacked. And then sometimes it brings you to 50 Wilderness, sometimes it brings you to right near the Ferox Enclave, which you could run into and escape PvP. And then sometimes it just brings you to 27 Wilderness and you can just teleport back. But at 13 Wilderness near like the swamp, that means you're near the Ferox Enclave, you go through the portal and you escape PvP, you can use the bank there. So, yeah, I mean, right now, Dragon Bones are significantly cheap. So it definitely makes a lot of sense to... You obviously get Dragon Bones from Huey Codal as well. So yeah, here's how you deposit from your loot bag. You fill it up. It's like a whole extra trip. I mean, obviously you could just deposit everything from the bag directly into the bank just by clicking the top left when you open the bag while in your bank. And then you could just sell it off later. I'm sure people have it on... They're sitting there and they're collectively using Dragon Bones as a way of insider trading Runite bolts versus potions to some degree, and other people just aren't smart enough to work with it. At least in regards to like the level scaling. Like you could have people who do it with one thing, you could have people who do it with another thing. You could have people who sit there protected in, wow, a drop party. You could have people who sit there and fight in the Revenant Cave. So pretty cool. Yeah, drop parties. I've seen people hand out abyssal whips yesterday. Okay, so yeah, for some reason, I think I'm paying for opal bolts, which apparently don't exist. So yeah, opal dragon bolts E. Might as well just buy the E version. So I'm basically paying for Runite bolts. It's like an infinite gold glitch. I pay for the Runite bolts, and you guys get the training in. Alright, so basically like 20 minutes of dragons, you get all your ammo back for Huey Kodal if you're a noob. If you have better armor, right now I'm making my gold from my bow of Ferdinand, so like I'm getting obviously gold just from the value of the items in my bank, because it's just so difficult to even get to Song of the Elves, let alone do it enough to actually get the bow. Because at that point it's like, why not just do TOA? Because you could just get a ton of ranged armor, and it looks cool too doing it. So they have to get the armor somehow. Like you don't just get your Justicar armor set randomly. And apparently it takes like 2,400 cocks or Chambers of Zarek raid to get the Twisted Bow, which is like 500 million more than the Tumikin. So obviously the Tumikin's easier to get. Leveling your mage up to that level is impossible and not real. So obviously using the Tumikin to get another Tumikin is way easier. So obviously it's 1.2 billion instead of 1.7 billion. So the Twisted Bow is just out of reach, making obviously the bow of Ferdinand the best option with the Maesori. It's basically the same thing as the Twisted Bow. You just have to quest for it. They also have the Fire Bow, or the Pyre Bow, from While Guthic Sleeps, which gives you a ton of Slayer EXP, similar to Monkey Madness 2. Monkey Madness 2 has two 50k EXP lamps, Slayer EXP, Hunter EXP, and I'm basically at that level. I just need to train 2 levels of crafting, 5 levels of fire making, and do, I think, Eyes of Glow Free, and some other quest that I don't know. So yeah, I mean, that was a good warm-up, I think. Could definitely had a better setup. I really do not like talking from 2 until 4 p.m. I don't like this time of year, but the fans, like I have a fan like right up over here. If I turn it on near the air conditioner, then that works very well. Obviously, my heat collects upstairs if we actually turn the heat on, and it's one of those types of days, but we basically run our heating based on it's open to interpretation. Like the end goal isn't workouts. Obviously, I don't work out personally. So, and I don't have a gaming collection. I live in just some random ghost house that just yells at me and makes stuff up 100% of the time at all times. Obviously, the only workers on this planet that make sense are fat, tall dudes who live far away and don't have cars, because that is technically America, and that's all I really see. So thankfully the Perilous Moons, you could make your own moonlight potions, which you may have missed, and the Thralls, you could have easily missed talking to Tis as well. So seeing all the pros out there using these types of items is something you wouldn't be able to use. So escape crystals are completely pointless, by the way. You need to be in 30 wilderness to use it. Literally the biggest waste of 500k gold I've ever done in my entire life. But it did encourage me to stay a little bit longer, but I did end up losing out more, unfortunately. So, yeah, but the Salve Amulet, literally impossible. I mean, it makes the Revenant Cave training way better. I think you get an Ectoplasmator to level your prayer against ghosts as well. But Perilous Moons is the best way to level prayer with Blessed Bone Shards. Obviously, you chisel Sunkissed Bones, you get even more Blessed Bone Shards. Use Sunfire Splinters on the Jug of Wine. While having a Pestle Mortar, you teleport to Tiamat, you go up to the pyramid, you bless the wine, you put it in the libation bowl for my Blessed Bone Shards video. And then you could left click the Blessed Bone Shards and then the libation bowl repeatedly to use them even faster. Yeah, there's like so many like little things that you're just sitting there loading for no reason. But yeah, the Web Weaver in Tombs of Masket is like, it's good with the Dexterous Prayer Scroll and the armor set, but overall it's like, it's definitely broken. So that's kind of, they have some in between, like the Dragon Hunter Crossbow on one hand, like where are all of the profitable dragon enemies besides the Revenant Cave? It doesn't do extra damage in the Revenant Cave, the Web Weaver does. So it's like, you have the Web Weaver being significantly better for loot in the Revenant Cave, and then you have the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, and then you have the Dual Makahito being better than Osmompton, but requiring armor, not really. And then you have like the bow, which is not attainable, but, and then like easily obtainable Masori, but then like hard to get Justicar armor. And then you have all the God Swords that everybody, like all the people want, so they could Perilous Moons. So you just have a ton of like demand. The Light Bearers are easy to get because everybody TOAs. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good breakdown. Araxite gives herbs now, finally. So but yeah, definitely enjoying like all these wonderful opportunities that don't count. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do, honestly. Like if I could do anything, I would just hit my gym 100 miles per hour and then drag it with a steel pipe, like from its window. Just stick the steel pipe in its window, just drag it along the street, and just make a spaceship or something, you know. But yeah, logging off.